Follow Talk Sports, and I'm back with another episode. The question today was, whose first ring would be more impactful? The main question was just between James Harden and Chris Paul, but for some reason Westbrook got thrown in there because he doesn't have a ring yet. Mr. Triple-Double. He's been playing with all these stars, been making all these stars better, except for when he went to play in LA. None of the stars really wanted to play with him. They just wanted to throw the blame on him. So, whose first ring would be more impactful? A lot of people are saying Chris Paul because his longevity, been playing in the league for a while. He really lost his chance last year. He made it all the way to the finals. And the other player we're comparing him to, he cost him to win the finals when he was playing in Houston. They were playing in Houston. Cp3, James Harden, Game 7. Chris Paul gets hurt out of nowhere, randomly. And they lose to the Warriors. And the Warriors going to win that ring. That should have been Houston, I know, but Chris Paul didn't want the ring. He's just a loser at heart. Westbrook, like I said, he's played with all these stars. He could start off playing with James Harden, Kevin Durant when he was in OKC. He had PG come play with him in OKC. He had Melo, he had Oladipo come play with him. He went to play with Bradley Beal for the Wizards, and then he played with LeBron and AD for those 10 games where they actually all played together. And he doesn't have a ring. He's made it to the playoffs with the Wizards. I was about to say Warriors. He made it with the Wizards. He made the playoffs with OKC with no other stars. Mr. Triple-Double, having a triple-double all season. Average is triple-double. And I don't think he gets the credit he deserves. And now he's playing with Kawhi and PG again. He also has Zubac in the paint. He's never had a full team with actual pieces to actually help him win. He's always just been sent around, and they've been blaming him for everything. And James Harden, he's not getting the benefit of the doubt. He has been running away from the hustle. He started off with OKC, of course, with James Harden, with Russell Westbrook and KD. And then he ended up in Houston. Then he ended up in Brooklyn. And then he ended up playing for Philly, which I think is a good fit. Philly, him with Embiid is Kobe and Shaq, basically, if they both put in the work. And I think they have the best chance out of these three players. The Clippers have a tough road ahead of them if they want to make it to the finals and win, but they do have Kawhi, so they get a little bit of momentum with that. Kawhi has done this before by himself. He's beat everybody in the East and got that ring in the finals. I believe they were playing, I forgot who they were playing, Raptors against the Warriors. Wasn't it the Warriors? I believe so. I don't remember right now at the top of my head, but Kawhi has been there all the way, and now he has Westbrook with him. But just looking at the longevity, Mr. Triple-Double, one of the best assist players in the world, in the league ever, top 5 assists. And Chris Paul, he's somewhere on the leaderboards in the all-time assists. He's somewhere up there. If not top 5, he's top 10. And James Harden is just a scoring machine. When he has the right pieces, he can be an assist monster, but he's a scoring machine. And who do I think out of these three would be more impactful with a ring? Personally, I want to see James Harden win a ring, but I don't know. Chris Paul sold his chance. He had a chance and missed out on it. Westbrook never made it to the finals, so you can't say, oh, he sold it, he gave it up. I think it would be more impactful for Westbrook or Harden to get it, because they both started in the same place, had 2 totally different careers, and now they're back in the playoffs and trying to get to that ring. I think it's more impactful for James Harden and Westbrook. But out of those two, I'm going to have to say Westbrook, only because he bounced around way more. So all these teams are already saying that he's the problem, and I don't think he was the problem. The problem was they didn't want to bring no more pieces to help him win. Because Westbrook, hey bro, triple doubles for 3 seasons straight. Are you kidding me? And he's been making the playoffs with the Wizards. The Wizards in the playoffs. Come on now. That's no. I think it gotta be Westbrook. It'll change how everybody looks at him. Because one, when he played for LA, they threw the blame on him. That's all everybody knew. That was the narrative. When he played for LA, it's his fault we're losing. He's missing these shots. He can't shoot. All these turnovers. He doesn't know what he's doing. Okay, now he goes from LA. I think they traded him to Utah, and then Utah let him go, and he ended up back in LA. I forgot how that trade worked, but he ends up in the LA on the other team, right down the road, right down the street for the Clippers. I don't know. It's just a bad narrative around Westbrook. I think this ring would be important to him. If they can get the ring, if they can get to the finals, I think the Clippers will win because the East is weak, in my opinion. The Celtics and the Bucks are the only teams in the East. You don't like it, I'm sorry. That's how it is. But if they could get to the finals, if the 76ers could get to the finals and play the Clippers, that's going to be crazy because it's kind of like it's a 50-50 chance of who I thought was going to be more impactful to get that first ring. You can even throw Joel Embiid in there, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep it at guards. If we want to talk about bigs without a ring, that's a whole nother story. But guards that bounced around, not nobody that's been solid on a team, I'm going to have to go with James Harden and Westbrook. It's 50-50. It's going to be impactful for either one of them. Chris Paul, he had a chance. He had plenty of chances to get there. And he had a chance with Harden. He fucked it up. So you could throw Chris Paul out the window. I don't think he's going to get a ring. And if he does, it's not impactful because if you do look at the Phoenix Suns right now, which option would you have Chris Paul at? He's not number one. He's not number two. He's not number three. Like, come on now. Winning a ring as a role player is not the same as being Westbrook. Like, Westbrook is probably the number 2 option because Paul, what's his name? PG, Paul George, in the playoffs, he does not appear. So he's the second option. It's Kawhi, then Westbrook, and then for the Suns, it's KD, then Booker, then Ayton, then Chris Paul. Come on now, that's no impact to somebody that's not doing much to win a ring. But if I were to look at Harden, Embiid and Harden, that's it. That's all they got. That would be impactful for him to go with that one other star. And role players that make it to the finals and win the finals and get that first ring, that taste of victory. Philly or Los Angeles Clippers. But that's just my take on who would be more impactful to win a ring. Like I said, it's a 50-50 between James Harden and Russell Westbrook. They both deserve a ring. They both have played hard enough to get a ring. It just, tables have turned at the wrong time, and they haven't got one yet. But this year, 50-50, James Harden, Russell Westbrook. If I were to make a solid pick out of the two, who has a higher chance to win the ring, I would go James Harden. The East is not as hard as the West, and he has Joel Embiid, he has Tyrese Maxey, PJ Tucker, Tobias Harris, Terrence Mann. Like, they have pieces to get very far. It's just a matter if they're going to execute, and if James Harden is going to put up his effort to get that ring. That's all it is. Because James Harden, yeah, everybody knows he has a partying lifestyle. When he was playing for Houston, he just go party and then just pull up at the game. Cool. But he pulled up to the game and dropped 40. He pulled up to the game, did 35. And you do that again now, I know he's been a couple years, a little bit older. But if you do that now, James Harden, Finals MVP. You heard it here first on Rello Talk Sports. I'm going to catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.